Hello and welcome everyone. If you are new to my channel, my name is Bree, and today I have some reading updates to catch you guys up on. I feel a little off. I haven't filmed in a couple of weeks because I had my spring break from work and I went out of town to stay the week with my boyfriend, and I did not do a video last week because of that. However, I did actually film a couple of things that we did, which I will show you guys in a little bit. All right, I think that the book I might have started by the end of the last vlog. If I hadn't, I was about to. You Did Nothing Wrong by C.G. Drews. This was so good. Like, I don't think I have enough words for how good this was. I don't really even want to talk that much about it because this is one of those books, guys, that I think you should go into as blind as possible. What we do know. How much synopsis do they really give us? Okay. Single mother Elodie's life has become a fairy tale. She's met Bryn, equal parts golden retriever, devoted and sinfully handsome. He's whisked her and her autistic son Jude away to the crumbling family house he's renovating. She has a new husband, a new home, and a new baby on the way. Everything is perfect. Until Jude claims he can hear voices in the walls. He says the renovations are hurting the house. Even Elodie can't ignore it. Something strange is going on. The question is it with the house or with her son? And what is Elodie hiding? This was fantastic. I kind of already knew I was going to love it because I am such a huge C.G. Drews fan after Hazelthorne and Don't Let the Forest In. Those were both 5-star reads for me in the past few months, and this was a third 5-star read, and I could not put it down. I was riveted. I wanted to underline like every other line in this book. I kept having to stop and reread a line I had just read multiple times before I felt that I could move on, because some of these lines, guys, they're so good. Like, gorgeous, gripping. I can't even describe it. The writing is amazing. The story is amazing. The characters are very well fleshed out. And honestly, guys, just everything about this. But yeah, definitely, I mean, if you check content warnings, maybe do that for this one. And if not, go into this one as blind as possible because just so good, guys. Fantastic. I loved everything about it, and I am so excited for C.G. Drews' next book. They have another young adult gothic horror coming out later this year. Maybe it's October, sometime in the fall. Absolutely can't wait because I love all of these so much. I actually did also order, they have 2 other books that they published years ago that I haven't read yet, and they're a little bit different than the gothic horror that they publish now, or that they write now, but I'm really excited to read them anyway because C.G. Drews writes a lot of autistic characters, and that is something that I personally can relate a lot to, and I feel like we don't see a lot of that in books. There's some. There's I mean, more and more are happening, but yeah, I'm super excited about that, and I can't wait to read the next one. After that, I had a TBR set, as you guys know, and I took a bunch of books with me out of town. I took 6 books out of town, guys, which was mildly insane because out of the books I took with me, I only read half of them because one of them was Moby Dick. Still chugging away on that. I'm going to be done with it in a few days, guys, and oh my god, I actually cannot wait to be done with that book and never have to read it again. It's fine. Everything's fine. I don't hate it. I just want to be done. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I took 6 books with me and actually ended up buying a different one while I was there. Not even because I went to a bookstore. It's because one of my special interests is like radiation and nuclear incidents, and every so often I'll watch something about one of them and fall into a rabbit hole that lasts for several days to a few weeks. And that happened again over my week off. I don't even remember what started it. We started watching something about Fukushima, I think. It was a YouTube video. Anyway, that got me rolling, and I ordered this book. It is called A Slow Death, 83 Days of Radiation Sickness. This is the story of a man who, along with 2 of his co-workers, ended up getting hit with a very high dose of radiation. He and one of his other co-workers got hit with a lethal dose. And this is the story of what happens to him after that. And, I mean, miraculously, he lived 83 days after getting hit with that lethal dose of radiation. And I want to say before him, the longest anyone who had been hit with that high of a dose lived was 9 days. So it was a very unprecedented thing that happened, and the doctors were not trained for it and didn't really know what to do because it had never happened before. This happened in Japan in a uranium processing facility around near Tokyo, and the workers were exposed to extreme levels of neutron beams. It is really a fascinating story, and it's honestly, it's horrific because of what happens to this guy after the incident. But this book captures a lot of the humanity. They really focus on the humanity of the patient, his care team, and his family while he's going through this and while they're all going through it. This book also teaches a lot about what happened when the incident happened and what happens inside this man's body afterwards. It's very interesting. It is absolutely heartbreaking. It's a really dark read. If you are interested in this, just know that going into it. Also, be careful. I mean, if you go to watch any other YouTube videos about this particular incident, be careful which ones you watch, because after I read this book, I watched Kyle Hill's video on it. I'll link him below. He makes some fascinating videos. He makes a lot of videos about radiation and nuclear incidents, so if you guys are interested, definitely check him out. His video kind of explained how a lot of the other videos about this incident actually misrepresent what happened after the incident with the man and everything in the hospital. So yeah, I was really glad that I picked this book up and watched Kyle Hill's video before I had actually, you know, come across the story anywhere else for that reason. So anyway, here we go down the rabbit hole again. This was very interesting, very, very sad, but yeah, if you are also interested at all in that kind of thing, I definitely recommend this. All right, after that one, I started Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman, and I am loving this, you guys. I love a good haunted house story, and this one reminds me a lot of, if you've seen the movie Mama, it came out more than a decade ago, and 10, 15 years ago. It reminds me a little bit of that. Kind of has Coraline vibes a little bit. Really, really good. It is told from the point of view of a little girl. She's like 6 or 8 maybe, so it's told from her point of view, and it has a very interesting format because of that. And it's a pretty chunky book, but I'm flying through it pretty quickly because of the way it's written, honestly. Yeah, I'm really liking this one. So I don't think I've read anything else by Josh Malerman before, but I'm really liking this, so I might have to check out some of his other stuff. Beyond that, guys, that is all of my reading updates. I think I have 5 more days left of Moby Dick. However, I'm going to double up tomorrow and Wednesday. Today's Monday. I'm going to double up tomorrow and Wednesday so that I can finish it on Thursday, not have to take it out of town with me this weekend, and I'll be done. Honestly, can't wait. Besides that, honestly, I could tell you what I might read after I finish Incidents Around the House, or I could just catch you guys up on that later. I did get something in the mail today. I got new glasses because I've been wearing these just straight up clear frames for about 6 months now, and I wanted some that were a little more bold, and I kept getting these ads on Instagram from, I think it's called Zlol. I kept getting ads on Instagram from them, and these particular frames kept popping up, and they really drew my eye. I really liked them. They're a lot more bold than these because these almost look like I'm not wearing any glasses. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys. I did already try them on because I had to see what they looked like on myself before I showed you guys, and I was a little bit nervous that the prescription might be off because back in October when I got my eye exam done, I sent off and I ordered 2 pairs of glasses and a pair of prescription sunglasses from online shops. And when I got them all in, I realized that the prescription was not right. It was clear up close, and after about 10 feet, it was very blurry. Driving was terrifying because I couldn't see clearly more than 10 feet in front of me. So I went back to the eye doctor and I kind of explained what was going on, and it was a really weird experience for me because he told me, he like had me put another lens in front of my glasses that weren't strong enough and asked if that was clear now, and I looked like outside the window at these trees across the street and I was like, yes, I can see, like this is what I need. And he said eye doctors don't like to give people the strongest prescription that they need, or something to that effect. And I was like, okay, what do you mean, sir? Because I cannot see. I have to drive, and I cannot drive under these conditions. And yeah, it was very weird. I think he actually used the words, against my better judgment, I'm gonna give you the stronger prescription. And I was like, sir, I fear that I do need to see. Like, I can't drive safely like this. What do you mean, against your better judgment? Anyway, all that aside, I had to reorder both of my glasses and my prescription sunglasses and pay out of pocket for them because it wasn't the shop's fault that the prescription was wrong. It was the doctor, and I didn't buy them from him. because out-of-pocket glasses from that shop would have been about as much as I paid for all 3 of my other pairs, which I had to do again, of course, the second time, but then they were right, and now I just have anxiety over it. Anyway, all that to say, I was a little anxious when these came in that they might not be right, even though this is the proper updated prescription that I've been using. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys now. All right, what do we think? They are like black and gray tortoise shell in the front, and then this bright, really pretty like salmon or coral on the sides. They're super oversized and just really bold and fun, and I love them so much. I haven't actually had a pair this bold ever before. I used to get black frames that were kind of exactly like this, and that was my thing for a while. But yeah, I am loving these. They're the same shape as my prescription sunglasses that I got last fall that I love. I love the oversized lenses. I'm very happy with them. And beyond that, guys, what else am I gonna do tonight? It's only like 7 o'clock maybe, and I am so exhausted. It was my first day back to work after the break, which, you know, fair. I'd probably be exhausted anyway, but I also had a dentist appointment right after work, and those always take a lot out of me. I get anxiety going to any kind of doctor's appointment, including the dentist, and I'm always afraid that I'm gonna have a cavity, even though if I did, I wouldn't have to get that dealt with until later. Still. And the sensory aspect of a teeth cleaning is not the best. Not the best. If you have sensory issues, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, like the scraping and the sounds and the gritty and everything about it. Luckily, I didn't have any cavities. I just have one little chip in my tooth that is kind of giving me a jolt of nerve pain when I eat crunchy foods. But do we care enough to go and get that drilled on and have to get a numbing shot? No. No, not right now, we don't. But yeah, so I had the dentist appointment, came back, working on some laundry, had some dinner, and now I really want to get into some comfy clothes and get in my bed and read and then go to sleep really early. That's what I want. I'm so tired. I hate going to the dentist, but yeah. Anyway, I hope that you all are doing well, and I will see you guys very soon with some more updates. Also, since I forgot to mention literally a second ago, I'm going to insert some clips of some fun stuff that I did with my boyfriend last week now, so please enjoy. Hey guys, it is currently Tuesday and I have some truly exciting reading updates for you guys. At least one of them is very exciting to me. I don't know how exciting it'll be to anybody else, but I'm going to share them with you anyway. So, update number 1. I finished Incidents Around the House today, and I really liked this. I didn't know if I would for some reason. I think maybe I tried to read Bird Box and I didn't like something about it. It was a long time ago, I don't really remember. However, I loved this. The different kind of formatting didn't really bother me, maybe because I don't know, maybe because I've read Sally Rooney so I can get past the no quotation marks thing. Either way, I really liked it. I thought the format was fitting considering this is told from the point of view of an 8-year-old girl. And guys, this would make such a good movie. I mean, I could picture it in my head the whole time, and that happens sometimes with books, but not all the time. You know, sometimes you're reading something and you can just see it play out cinematically, and you're like, this would make an incredible movie, and that's exactly what happened as I read this. So this is about 8-year-old Bella. She has another friend named Other Mommy who comes out of her closet sometimes at night and asks her if she can go into her heart. So Other Mommy is her friend at the beginning of this book, but a little stretchy back there. I don't know if you guys can see her. My dog has just woken up from her nap. You're gonna have to give me a second, okay, sweetie? Go lay down. Anyway, things start getting increasingly unsettling with Other Mommy, and Bella's parents start to notice that something's going on. And the way this was told, you guys, so it's told through the point of view of an 8-year-old who thinks that this thing in her closet is her friend. So that means she can describe something in a really matter-of-fact way, but as you're reading it, you're like, this is absolutely grotesque and horrifying and terrifying, and oh my god, if I actually saw that in real life. But this kid, she's just like, oh yeah, that's just what she looks like, that's just what she does. Incredible, guys. Like, just, I recommend this. This is a super good haunted house story. I don't even know if I would call it a haunted house story per se, but I don't want to get too much into that. I don't want to give anything away. Super good haunting story. Super interesting, really, really unique and different from a lot of the other haunting or haunted house stories that I've come across anyway. Really, really liked this. I think I gave it 4 stars. I might bump that up to like 4.5. We shall see. And so I finished this book pretty early today. It was actually still morning when I finished it. And so after that, I dove, that was an unintentional pun, Moby Dick. And I think I mentioned the last time I was updating you guys that I was going to try to finish this by the end of the week before I go back out of town. And today I actually just sat down and I was like, you know what? I don't have that much left. Let's just do it. Let's just, buckle in, finish out the ride. And so I did. I finished it. You guys, I finished Moby Dick. I can't tell you guys how happy I am to be done with this book. I've read a lot of classics. I think I've read a lot of classics, and I have not struggled with a classic as much as I struggled with this one. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean, you think you know how to read, and then you come across a book like Moby Dick, and you're like, do I actually know how to read? Because I just went through 3 pages, and I don't think I retained anything, and now I have to go back. This book made me question whether or not I truly know how to read. So that was an interesting experience. I didn't love it. I was checking out the comments on Fable after I marked it as read, and one of them said, I don't regret reading this, but I did not have a good time. And that is exactly how I feel about this book. I don't regret reading it. I do not regret finishing it, even though it was a struggle, but I did not have a good time. There were a few moments, like I really liked the beginning of the book when Ishmael and Queequeg were becoming friends. I enjoyed the hell out of that. I loved that. The very end, when, obviously there's going to be a big chase with the whale right at the very end. That was pretty interesting, pretty fast-paced. Other than that, everything between that, it's not that it didn't need to be there. Obviously, we needed to know how we get from point A to point B, but did it need to be like this? Did it? Anyway, this is the exciting news. I'm done with Moby Dick, and I'm so happy to be done with Moby Dick, and I'm going to put it on my shelf and not look at it again for a very, very long time. Another reading update that I forgot to mention yesterday. I am listening to Misery by Stephen King on audiobook while I drive. And okay, so I have seen bits and pieces of the movie Misery. And it's been out forever. You're going to see clips of it here and there. I don't think I've watched the whole thing through. I think I knew the general idea of the story. I've read a lot of Stephen King. I am a fan of Stephen King. I like his writing. I know that some of them can get really dark. This one gets pretty dark, guys. I'm not done yet. I don't even know what percentage of the way. Maybe like 2/3, 3/4, somewhere around there. I have a couple hours of the audiobook left, but I'm also listening on like 1.5 speed, so that doesn't help me much. Anyway, that one, as probably everybody already knows, is a story about a fairly famous writer named Paul Sheldon. There it is. I almost said Paul Newman. Anyway, Paul Sheldon, he wakes up and he's in this woman's house, this woman he's never seen before, and his legs are badly broken, and he's like, what happened? How did I get here? And she's like, oh yeah, you had a car accident, and so I pulled you from your car with your mangled legs, and I brought you here so that I could nurse you back to health because I am your #1 fan. So it goes on from there, and it is horrifying. It's horrifying. And I just got to a part today, guys, on my drive home from work that I was not anticipating. I'm not going to say what happened because it's a pretty big thing. It's a pretty big event that happens in both the movie and the book. However, I've seen that particular part of the movie, and it's not the same, you guys. It's not what happened in the book. That's not what happened in the book. Anyway, I just walked into my house so yeah. That just happened. Yeah, we're going to keep going with that and see what the hell happens at the end of this book, because for the life of me, I don't think I've seen the end of the movie. I don't know what happens. I don't really know what to expect. We're going to find out. I'm hesitant to say I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, but not I'm not happy about it, I guess. I am kind of shocked I never even saw the movie and haven't read this before now, because The Shining is one of my favorite books ever. I've probably read it all the way through 10 times. I got my first copy of it when I was pretty young. I might have been in middle school, and my first copy got super worn out because I just kept reading it, and now I have 2 newer copies. I read it again last year. Loved it. So amazing. I read it during the pandemic. I thought it was going to take me forever. It took me about 2 weeks. I really liked that too. There are parts that could have been completely omitted and nobody would have known and everything would have been fine. I think you guys probably know what I mean. Like the parts that were omitted for every adaptation that's been made of it, because it did not need to be there. Anyway, other than that, I really like it. It is fascinating. It's terrifying. It's a great story. I love the characters. Me and my boyfriend watched Welcome to Derry recently, and oh my god, you guys, if you have watched it, if you've read it, if you like the new movies, watch Welcome to Derry. It might even be better. It might even be better. It was so good. I actually was like ugly crying at one point. Anyway, I'm getting so off track. What am I gonna read next? I finished both of my books I was reading today. Oh, I really, really want to read Project Hail Mary. It's been sitting on my shelf since it was a book of the month pick, which I'm bad about reading things as soon as I get them most of the time. And then I knew it was coming out in the theater this month, and I just still was like, it's okay. I'll read it when I read it, I'll watch it when I watch it. And now it came out in the theater last Friday. Everybody's losing their minds over it, and I'm like, why have I not already read this so that I can go to the theater and see the movie? My sister is currently seeing the movie right now, and I'm really jealous, but I really want to read the book first. So I don't think I'm gonna have time to go to the movies this weekend, so I think I'm gonna read one more book before I get into that, and it might be Private Rights by Julia Armfield. It might be, because that one's been on my TBR for a couple of months and I haven't gotten to it yet. And then, so that'll be the last one I'm gonna try to finish before the month is out, and then I'm gonna start Project Hail Mary. Today's Tuesday, so I have until next Friday, to finish both of them so that I can go to the theater and watch the movie, because oh my god, I'm so excited. I don't know why I was procrastinating. It happens. But The Martian, I loved The Martian. I was fascinated as I read that book. I loved the movie. I was a little sad that some of the coolest scenes in the book did not translate to the movie for some reason, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm really excited for another experience like that. I really hope it's as good as The Martian was. And let's see, what time is it now? I jumped straight into doing like some of the chores I needed to get done when I got home. Like put away all my laundry, cleaned up my room a little bit, did my dishes. Oh, I'm gonna paint my nails tonight because they are looking a little, they're fine, but like they've grown out a bit and they're starting to wear off at the ends. I haven't actually done them in 2 weeks. I usually do them every week, but since I was out of town last week, all I did was put another coat on the top of a different color. I really thought this purple was going to be more sheer. I have pink underneath it, but it totally covered the pink. It's fine. We're going to start over today, do something else, do something fun, and hopefully I'm going to get to bed early, because I did not start my week off with a full night of sleep, I'll tell you that. And I'm noticing as I get older, I used to be able to do that very easily. Now it takes me more than one day to recover from it. I have to have like 3 full nights of sleep to fix just one night of messed up sleep. So super fun. Love being in my early 30s. This was fine when I was still in my 20s. Yeah, beyond that, my boyfriend and I are currently watching Band of Brothers, an HBO miniseries about World War II from early 2000s. Actually, I didn't realize it was as old as it is, but it's one of his favorite shows ever, and so he's finally showing it to me. We watched most of it last week when I was with him, and I think we have 3 episodes left, and so we're probably going to watch 1 or 2 of those tonight, and I'm just gonna cry my eyes out some more, and yeah, I will check in with you guys later. Hey everyone, the day is Thursday and I have a really quick reading update for you before I sign off for the week. I know I talked about starting another book and trying to finish a whole other book like over the weekend and starting Project Hail Mary next week and reading the whole thing next week. And then I kind of took another look at how big Project Hail Mary is, and I was like, might be a better idea to just start this one now to make sure I have it done by the time I want to go to the movies and see it, because Everyone's talking about it. I'm super excited about it. I loved The Martian so much, the book and the movie. So I went ahead and started this night before last, I think it was. I'm not that far in just yet, but I am loving it already. I'm so excited to go see the movie. And that is the only reading update I have for you guys right now, because I am not reading 2 books anymore because Moby Dick is done and gone. Oh, you know what? That's actually not true. The Moby Dick part is, but I am still listening to Misery on audiobook while I drive, which is getting rowdy, you guys. Like, I don't think I ever actually saw the end of the movie, so maybe the events that are happening now did happen in the movie. I don't know if things are still going off the rails like the first scene that I definitely know did not happen in the movie. But yeah, Wild, I don't actually know how it's going to end, so I'm going to find that out tomorrow when I go out of town and finish the audiobook. But loving this, and yeah, I think that's about it. So I hope that you guys are having a great day whenever you see this. I hope you had a great week. I hope you had a great start to your spring, and I will see you guys very soon, and thank you for watching.